Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha HaKodash. I want to send double honor to my elders and apostles at Great Millstone who taught me this truth and who rule well. Peace, love, and safety is to the hopeful elect document out there doing this work. Much love to the scattered elect and to the few sincere women that subscribe to the true doctrine. This is the brother you call Amath with the Great Millstone Camp branch out here in Omaha, Nebraska. Coming back with another lesson, Lord willing, to feed and to edify the lost sheep of the nation of Israel through the Holy Spirit, Ruach HaKodash. And the Israelites consist of the so-called Negroes, the so-called Hispanics, and the so-called Native Americans by the seed of your father, no matter what you may look like. So getting straight into it, I want to touch on this article here. This is from thehrdigest.com, all right? And it says, will Amazon's robots replace workers? Not yet, it appears. Okay, and this was dated as of May 16, 2025, which I believe today is the 17th. So this was posted yesterday. And it's going into everything that we've been talking about, all right? And also what Esau Edom has been showing in these movies, how that Esau Edom is going to be replacing individuals with his technology. Okay, and he's slowly but surely been ushering this thing in. I forget where it is. I believe it's I want to say somewhere in Japan, right, where they have AI doctors, within the hospital. Okay, and it's just a matter of time before everybody's sitting at home, not being able to do physical labor, all right, not being employed by anyone, but having to receive the benefits of Esau Edom, okay, which the benefits, as we've been harping on, starting with the older apostle Tahar on down, is they're going to usher in a digital system to where you're going to have to rely upon Esau Edom via the RFID micro chip, okay, which is spoken of in the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 16 on down, right? But this is the times that we're living in, man, okay? Now, as far as the prophets, this is what a time to be alive for us. What a time to be alive, man. Okay? And I've heard individuals in the world say the same thing, what a time to be alive, but at the same time, they're, going to school, trying to get their degrees, and they're worried about things of the world. But we're worried about this world coming to an end. Okay? So let's get into this article, get some precepts, and that'll be the lesson. Lord willing, this is edifying, so we're going to get into it. It says in the first paragraph, are Amazon robots about to replace workers? That's the question we get asked every time there's a new update on just how successfully the company's robotics division is expanding. And Amazon's warehouses have seen the integration of robots for years now, leading the country's exploration of just how much manual labor can be automated or offloaded to machines that don't demand benefits and pay, right? So that means what? You working at your job, you have insurance, the company pays for your insurance, okay, in case you get hurt, at the job. That what else they have? A workman's comp, so anything that, pretty much they have to pay you for your labor. Okay, they pay you for your labor, and they have to make sure that you're insured. With this technology, with these robots, all they got to do is maintenance them. They don't get tired. They don't require any benefits. They don't have families. They don't have feelings, and they so this is highly likely, man. But the article, it states it in a question form, but it says not yet. It appears, meaning that it's just going to be a matter of time. Okay, and let's read on. It says the impact of warehouse automation hasn't been felt everywhere yet, because these machines do demand a hefty investment up front. But with each robotics breakthrough at Amazon, we do edge closer to seeing some workers left out of jobs. And Um, I have to. There was an article, or let's see if I can actually find that. Where it was talking about, where it was showing how with Amazon, they were using these drones to drop people's packages off. Okay, Amazon deliver packages drone, right? And I believe there was a video, right? So look, here you go. This is just the AI overview. But there was videos on YouTube showing this, right? So this is the AI overview. It says, yes, Amazon delivers packages using drones through its Prime Air program. The service is currently available in select cities like College Station, Texas, and the West Valley of the Phoenix, Arizona metro area, with plans for expansion to other locations. Amazon's drones can deliver packages weighing up to 5 pounds, typically within 30 to 60 minutes, to customers within a designated delivery area. So they've already been ushering this in, okay? And as you see, what it says clearly that they plan to expand to other locations. All right, and then this is when I came across this article. That's damn near hand in hand with it, man. You're gonna have these robots that are working inside of the factory, the Amazon factories or headquarters, whatever, and then you're gonna also have these drones delivering packages. All right, so Esau Edom is slowly but surely gonna push people out of their jobs through his AI technology. Okay. Now let's get back to this article, and I want to get a precept. It says in 2025, Amazon introduced its Vulcan new robots, work buddies that now have a sense of touch. It says they have a sense of touch. Does that make them more human or more alien? Regardless, the robots are more capable than ever of helping out at the warehouse, picking up boxes, and efficiently storing goods. Will these Amazon robots lead to more layoffs? It is possible. Okay. So there's a possibility that, individuals will start losing their jobs. Matter of fact, on another note, it's not AI based, but another article that I found, speaking of losing jobs, I came across this as well. Okay, whatever this is, let's get that off of there. Right. I came across this earlier today. From thegrio.com. And this is dated as of May 15th, 2025, which is a couple of days ago. Black women suffered the most job loss in April, report says. While more than 170,000 jobs were added to the job market in April, black women accounted for the highest job loss, right? Which, at the end of the day, these women, you're not supposed to be out there working anyway. All right, you're supposed to be at home, submissive to your husband, taking care of the children, making sure that the house is in order, while the man goes out and hunts, so to speak, aka going to work and bringing home the turkey bacon. All right, but then this, which I'll leave the link to both of these articles, but it goes into how like 106,000 women. I'm going to just get down to the part right here. It says, according to April's jobs report, despite the U.S. unemployment rate remaining at 4.2%, black women accounted for a total of 106,000 jobs lost. All right, that means but that's gonna mean what? Essentially, it's gonna mean that these women are gonna have to rely more on the system. All right, as these black women, so-called black women, the Judite women, they already receive benefits from the government, your food stamps and things of that nature. Well, if you're not able to work, then you're going to rely even much more. And when that MOTB is pushed, you're really going to fall into that, man. Okay, now this is just the tip of the iceberg with these type of things, man. All right, so I want to get this precept in the book of Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 1. It says, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not. Because starting with the elder apostle Tahar on down, this is something that we've been saying for a long time. All right, that number one, people were going to be people were not going to seek after Yahweh Shemel Shai. They were going to do their own thing, despite what the prophet said. All right, when they said that people were going to lose their jobs, and then within the last few years at least, that there were going to be these robots were going to be taking people's jobs. And you're going to be sitting at home. All right, but getting into this precept, it says, "Remember now thy Creator in the days that I use." So the Most High, through His prophets, have given men, all right, and women of the household of Israel a chance to turn from this evil and wicked world, flee the shadow of this world. Okay, the more you rely on this world, the further you are from Yahweh Shemel Shai, and the further you are from Yahweh Shemel Shai, the closer you are to taking that micro C-hip when it comes to, when it's implemented on a mandatory level. All right. Nor the years draw nigh when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. And this is the point. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few. And those, the grinders, let's see what that word grinders mean. I've heard it broken down before, but I had to get into it for edification's sake. So it gets into the word tahan, all right, which says to grind or to crush, a primitive root, to grind mill, to be a concubine, that being their employment. All right, so it's a sense of employment. Let's see if it gives anything different here. Those that grind, the grinders. All right, so essentially it's talking about working. All right, essentially it's talking about work, these jobs. And it says that the doors shall be shut in the streets. Why? Because they're going to have these robots taking over your jobs, man. All right, the robots are going to be taking over these jobs. So, this is the times that, that we've been speaking on over here at Great Millstone, starting with the head apostles. All right. Now let's finish. It says, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Why? Because that American dream that you once had of, going to college for 4 to 6 years, getting this prestigious degree given to you from the enemy Esau, Edom, moving on to get a very prestigious and high booty job, okay, where you got to dress up every day. You're making, $150,000 or $200,000 a year. But that plan's out the door, because you got people losing jobs as we speak, and also you got these robots are going to start taking over these jobs, man. All right, so that American dream is dead. It's very, very much hard to attain American dream anyway. And I went over that, one of my, recent videos. It's very hard to attain the American dream. The cost of living is too high. So when you have the cost of living constantly growing, on top of people losing their jobs, you're going to have to rely on some type of source of income. And that source of income is going to be that micro C-hip. Okay. It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and the daughters of music shall be brought low, which the music is trash. Okay. But, the point of this precept is showing that there's going to be a very great influx of individuals losing their jobs, So I want to get back into this article some more. Not this one, the other one. All right. Because this is the times that we're living in. This is times that we're coming to, and the reason why, and this is me speaking as a man, of course, the reason why they're wording it like this, not yet it appears, or will Amazon robots replace workers? They're playing it so individuals don't panic. Okay, but when they shall say peace and safety, let's get that. And that's in the book of First Thessalonians, the fifth chapter, right? First Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3. It says, "For when they shall say peace and safety," let's see. Yep. It says, "Then suddenly, it's like it. Then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." You know, so like I said, this is me speaking as a man, right? That they don't want individuals to panic. Oh, don't worry about it. These robots, these robots can't do the job as good as a human. Because robot or technology always messes up. Okay, no, well we got humans, all right, but essentially humans are going to be pushed out of the picture, and they showed it in a more recent movie on Netflix. Um, what's the name of the movie? It's called Subservience. Which one of the brothers here in the camp, put me onto it, where it shows an individual who, or his wife was sick. I'm just going to give a brief rundown to get to the point of it. His wife was sick, so he went to some type of convention where they were selling AI robots that were human-like. Okay, they looked just like humans. And he took one home to be the maid, take care of the kids, make sure the kids were in bed on time, cooking dinner, so on and so forth, the whole 9 yards. And essentially, the dude slept with the robot, but also the job that he had, they were cutting down on human labor. And he was a foreman at the job, and he ended up being the only one that was able to keep his job while everyone else got pushed out by robots. All right. Now, I'm not sure if that movie is still on there, but it's a very good movie to check and look at. Even though I kind of gave the gist of it, you have to see it for yourself, because this is just Esau putting it right in our face, man. Right? He's putting these prophecies, his personal prophecy, right in our face, which is to utilize AI technology and get us the hell out of there. All right. Now let's continue in this article. It says, "Will Amazon robots replace workers? There is fear, but jobs are still safe for now." It says there is ample fear of robots replacing workers in the blink of an eye, but it seems we're still a while away from a complete switch. Amazon's new AI-powered Vulcan warehouse robots are growing more confident with navigating the workplace, with better touch sensing that allows them to pick up and stow away boxes in the warehouse. The sensors allow them to rearrange items without damaging the products, alerting them to the right amount of force or speed necessary in their movements. So this is what they're saying. That these robots are going to be more efficient than you humans. So what we need humans for? We got these robots. We ain't got to pay them. They more efficient. They don't get tired. They can work 24/7. Right? We don't need you. We do not need you. Okay? Let's continue on, because there was a point in here. I have to see where it's at. Yeah, here we go. I'm jumping on to the next section. So I'm not going to go through the entire article. I'm just going to getting a few points, right? But going into this part where it says, "What are the benefits of the robotics breakthrough at Amazon?" It says Amazon's high-tech robots are designed to offload the more tiring work of two machines that can work tirelessly without requiring supervision. With each advancement that we make in robotics, work at the warehouses can become more efficient, picking up the pace of the work without straining a worker. They ain't gotta, robots don't get backaches. Robots don't tear their rotator cuffs. All right. Eventually, these robots can take on some of the more grueling tasks that are unsafe for regular workers, operating to reduce the likelihood of workplace injury. There is the parallel fear that adding more undeveloped machines could hurt workers in the process of completing their tasks, as we've seen in multiple cases before. But the ultimate goal is to make the workplace safer. And so this is the idea of Esau Edom, to make the workplace safer, to make work more efficient. Okay. and we don't need you. All right, all we need is somebody to monitor these robots, maintenance these robots, but we don't need nobody actually doing this labor that we require to be done. All right, so there's gonna come a time where Esau Edom is eventually gonna push everybody out. All right, then that's really all I wanted to get. To be honest, didn't want to drag it out. Just wanted to touch on this a little bit, and just show the times that we're coming into. All right. So, let's get this and I'll close it out. And this is I was at Ephesians, the 5th chapter and the 15th verse. To those of us that are of the household of faith, this precept is to you. It's also to you individuals out there that are not of the sect of the household of faith, but you're learning sincerely. Take heed to this. Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 15, it says, "See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise." And that circumspect means to look around, to know what's going on around you. All right? Because there are things that are happening that we have to be privy of. As the scriptures say, we have an unction of the Lord and we know all things. That's from us looking around and making sure that we know what's going on prophetically. That we make sure that we know what's going on at the workplace. Okay? Because there's about to be a time where we get humans are not going to be needed. And even those of the household of faith, especially, keep in mind that just because we're serving Yahweh Shem Al Shai does not mean that we're exempt from this. Okay, so be circumspect. It says redeeming the time because the days are evil. All right. So Lord willing, this was an edifying video. Let's keep our eyes open. Let's hasten unto the day Yahweh Shem Al Shai and let's get our household in order. I say that to myself first. Let's get our household in order because Yahweh Shem Al Shai is about to visit the world which he made. Right? So with that being said, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Racha HaKodash. Double honors to my elders and apostles at Great Millstone. Peace, love, and safety is to